Hello, welcome to Lord Havoc's Marvel Champions custom content stream extravaganza. I'm currently at 40 followers. I'm pretty excited about that. I got a couple of followers during the absolutely epic Trinity versus Doomsday fight. And I don't mean Trinity from the Matrix, although she is epic as well. And it was, of course, Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman. We had our special guest, Spreader Beast, who designed the Doomsday scenario, joining us, Joshy and I, and it was just awesome, just a lot of fun. So if you haven't seen that video yet, I think it's just called Doomsday. Check it out, great fun. It is 3 hours, but it's good stuff. So thank you to everybody who's followed since then. 10 more and I become... What do I become? An affiliate? An associate? I don't know. I start unlocking like more stuff in Twitch. So yeah, 10 more followers and pretty dope. Couple of disclaimers. I'm still trying to get rid of whatever it is that has afflicted me. It's very strange. I'm quite congested. So we'll see how that goes. And I've got the hiccups for some reason. And there's also some really strange background noise happening at the moment. I'm not too sure what the deal is. I don't know where it's coming from. It's not the computer. It's very odd. It's like this humming noise. It's not the heater because I turned that off because it makes too much noise. So I am actually cold, but it's alright. I'm wearing a jumper. I'll be fine. I'm coming to come back with some custom content because the current round of seals is happening. So the custom community does this thing where they nominate content that creators have made, and what they do is they seal it to indicate that it is good enough to be released by FFG, good enough to be released as an official product. The last round that we had was called Cycle 2. I went through and sort of highlighted some of them, some of the content that had been nominated, sort of hey, try new things, which is great, and also sort of give my sort of opinion on their quality. So we're in Cycle 3. They just got nominated earlier today, so I'm going to go through as many of them as I can. I'm starting off with Moon Knight by McBober. Now, McBober is the one who actually created this mat that I'm currently using. So this play mat here is a McBober play mat. This is the Hitch Marvel Champions table, but he did the mat. And he's done... we've featured some McBober stuff before. He's done a whole bunch of Star Wars stuff. And we've featured some other sort of creations of him. I'm pretty sure Power Girl was his. But the main one, of course, being Gotham's Reckoning. So we've gone through Gotham's Reckoning campaign twice now on the channel. Just solo and myself, and Joshy joined me for a 2-player version, and it's great. So when I saw Moon Knight nominated, I was very excited. There's a couple of Moon Knights available. One of them I'm not a fan of. And so when I saw this was nominated as well, I was like, oh, is that the one that I've seen that I'm not that big a fan of? And it is not. It's completely different. So I'm going to change up a little bit what I do. I don't normally show the cards, the identity cards. Or if I'm doing a custom scenario, I don't usually show like the scenario. So I'm going to change it up slightly and go through a couple of things, a couple of key points, just so I know what the hell's going on, and also you sort of get a general idea of what's going on. Excuse me. So if I'm playing it badly, it's not because the hero is bad, it's because I'm playing it badly, which, let's face it, is most likely the option. Oh, excuse me. And I also want to, at the end, give critique based on the critique that you're meant to give from the nominations. So when you play test something, you're meant to then fill out a form, a Google Docs form, giving ratings for certain criteria. The criteria are aesthetics, so like how well does it look, themes that match the theme of the character, any materials, like what does it need, like extra stuff, does it have some sort of gimmick like dice or something, right? The mechanics, of course, very important. Balance, is the character actually balanced? Was it OP or was it underpowered? Believe it or not, sometimes they actually are underpowered. And I understand that. You get so worried that you've made them OP that you sort of strip them down until they become boring. That's essentially Hulk, right? Like Hulk when he was first created, official Hulk. He was ridiculous. And so they stripped him down, but then took it just a step too far because now he's boring. And then fun factor. Did you enjoy doing it? Now this is not going to be a proper test because when you play test the creations, you're meant to go through different aspects, like different aspects like aggression, protection, standard and expert, different types of villains. You know, like do more than just one game. I'm only just going to have the one game before I give my opinion. So it's not a true playtest. I'll have some more games before I fill out the form, but I thought that would be a cool way to sort of go through it. Cool. Sorry, someone just messaged me, so I said to tell them that I was streaming. They should be watching me stream. What's that about? So Moon Knight, pretty excited about this. This has got a really fascinating sort of aspect thing to it. So you start off with this one, and it looks like how you would normally, right? So you've got Steve Grant on one side, civilian, 3 rec, Egyptologist, action. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Add 1 Moon Knight card to your hand and discard the rest. Limit once per round. Pretty standard stuff, right? That's pretty standard. Hand size of 5, hit points of 10. Nothing too exciting there. Then you got the hero side, who is Mark Spector. Anxiously enough, the hero side is not Moon Knight. That's Stephen Grant as his sort of wimpy civilian side, is the alter ego. And then you got Mark Spector, who's like his kick butt mercenary side. So 1-1-2, pretty good there. I actually would have gone 1-2-1, but it's not my character. Mercenary, soldier, self, teamwork. I love it. Response: after you change to this form, choose to either deal 1 damage to an enemy or remove 1 threat from a scheme. Hand size 5, hit points 10. Now, it's important to note that when you change form, you go from alter ego to hero, right? That is changing form. So that'll trigger. But this character has also got a whole bunch of extra stuff. And I just want to go through this. I'm going to grab his aspect card down here. Now, this is very, very cool. Now, he has multiple identities. So Moon Knight is a... what is it? Multiple personality, or is it schizophrenia? I'm going to say multiple personality disorder, right? Moon Knight comes with cards in this deck that have the alter ego and hero card types. These cards are played during your turn just as you would supports or upgrades, unless otherwise noted on the card. When you play one of these cards with the identity keyword, place the card on top of your identity. On top's not one word, it should be 2 words. Temporarily replacing your existing identity. Your identity keeps its current state, ready or exhausted, along with any tokens it has on it, and this does not count against your once per turn form change limit. Now, it's important to note that it keeps your current state, but almost all of them, I've noticed, actually ready when they come into play. Ready. Actually, all of them do. So it'd be in your best interest to do it when you're exhausted, because then it readies, right? So it does not count as against your 1 per turn form change limit, but does count as changing forms for the purpose of triggering card effects such as Moxie. Now, I'm not playing leadership. Moxie's a leadership card. I'm playing aggression because it came with a pre-built aggression deck that I slightly modified. But it has cards in it such as surprise attack, hero response, attack. After you change form, deal 3 damage to an enemy, 4 damage if you pay for this card using a fist resource. And when you play one of these cards, and as they've all got a cost, you are technically changing form. So it triggers it. Fascinating. If you would attempt to change forms, including by playing another identity card, while you are playing as one of these identity keyworded cards, discard that identity card first. So you keep this one in play, but say I change to Captain Spectre, I become Captain Spectre. Oof, the TTS flip mechanic doesn't really like it. I'm going to have to do this maybe. No, doesn't like that either. Oh well. Anyway, so you change to Captain Spectre. So now if I want to change forms again, I change... Oh, what's a... What? What happened there? That was weird. So if I change forms to Stephen Grant, and then change to Mark, the Captain Spectre gets discarded. So then I have to go back to Mark again. So if I change to Stephen, Captain Spectre goes. So that when I change back, I'm changing back to Mark. And vice versa, if I'm currently Captain Spectre and I want to change to Cowboy Moon Knight, I don't just lay it on top. I would actually discard this as you would any other card and become Cowboy Moon Knight. That's how I'm suggesting that it works. That's how it reads to me that it works. If it turns out I'm wrong, well, bad luck. But that's how it says. That's what it looks like to me. If you would attempt to change forms, including by playing another identity card, while you're playing as one of those identity keyword cards, discard the identity card first. That's how I read it. The identities are as such. You've got one alter ego version, who is Jake Lockley. Meet Jake response. After Jake Lockley enters play, ready him. Deal 1 damage to an enemy, 3 damage instead if the enemy is a minion. And he has an acceleration token. Now, he has an acceleration token because he has a hand size of 7. Which isn't too big of a deal. I personally hate acceleration tokens. But it wouldn't be that big of a deal because it would only really affect you the once you would want. You would not really want it to stick around for too much than that. So it would affect you the one time so that you take advantage of his hand size and stuff. And then I strongly suggest you change form ASAP to get rid of that. And then you've got the others. The others are all heroes, and they get gradually more powerful as they go on, and also increase in cost. So 1, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2. Captain Spectre. After Captain Spectre enters play, ready him. They all have that same sentence. Ready a vehicle you control. There's a couple of vehicles. One of them is specifically his spaceship, which I think is called Moon Knight 1 or something. Cowboy Moon Knight. Reduce the resource cost of the next event you play by this round by 1. 2, 2, 2. Then you got a 2, 2, 3, which is Mr. Knight. His coolest aspect, in my opinion. I think he's cool. Discard cards from the top of your deck until you discard a Moon Knight card and add that card to your hand. And then you've got Moon Knight himself, who is just a whopping 3, 4, 4. That's more powerful than Wonder Woman. That's ridiculous. So it costs you 3. He has Retaliate 2 and Stalwart. Deal 1 damage to each enemy and remove 1 threat from each scheme after he enters play. Just madness. And different hand sizes and various stuff like that. Clarifications. Moon Knight comes with 3 different obligations that all get shuffled into the encounter deck setup. Mark Spectre is a deeply troubled man. When you discard an identity card, either at the end of the round by playing a new identity card or a card effect, that counts as changing forms. That means if Mark Spectre is the form you change to from this, even if only for a brief moment before you put a new identity into play, you have an opportunity to trigger his self-teamwork response. Help Mark leverage his various alters to maximize the potential of Moon Knight. I'm going to read that again. When you discard an identity card, either at the end of the battle or by playing an identity card, that counts as changing forms. That means if Mark Spectre is the form you change to... okay, right. So if you're Mark Spectre and you change to Captain Spectre, you do all your Captain Spectre stuff. But if I then change back to Mark Spectre in order to change to Cowboy Moon Knight, so I'm changing from Captain Spectre to Cowboy Moon Knight. But for that brief second that I'm not Cowboy Moon Knight, I'm currently Mark Spectre, which then triggers self-teamwork. Alright, I've got to remember to do that. That's a very important distinction. I'm glad that's on there. That's cool. Good rule insert. Now the rule insert mentioned his 3 obligations. Here's his 3 obligations. Check these out. These are cool. Very, very, very cool. Only a figment. Pretty standard stuff. That's pretty much his standard obligation. You got locked up. You cannot play identities. Exhaust your identity and spend his mental resources. Remove locked up from the game. And actually, funnily enough, has a boost effect. That's the first obligation I've ever seen to have that. Pretty cool. Now, look at the artwork on this. Holy crap, that's awesome. God damn, that's a cool picture. Identity you play costs 1 additional resource. Exhaust Mark Spectre and spend a mental resource to discard this obligation. So he gets 3. Madness. Let's chuck those in there. Oh, Joshy's joined. Hey, Joshy. Moon Knight. Yep, it is indeed Moon Knight. His nemesis set's over there. No need to go through that. Starts at 10 health. Here's his deck. Let's put the identity cards back in there. Up to his 40 cards. And we're good to go. When you play test, you're meant to play test against official content and vice versa, right? So custom heroes play against official scenarios, and custom scenarios play against official heroes. So we're doing Claw standard. And then other episodes we'll go through. Here's some other ones that have been nominated. We got Polaris, Supergirl, Firestorm, Spider-Man Noir, Punisher, hero version, not the scenario version that we played together. And this one here, Deku, which I know nothing about. I know they're from My Hero Academia, but I've never seen the show or read the manga, or I'm not really a manga / anime type person, but I know absolutely zero about this character, so I'm going to have to do some research before I do it. That'll be the last one I do. I have to go do some research. I have no clue. Or maybe Josh, if he knows anything about it, can join me. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, let's do it. Clear as mud. 6 cards. It is 6, right? No, it's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means this goes back in. It is 5 cards. 5 cards and 10 hit points. And his ability is look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Add 1 Moon Knight card to your hand, discard the rest. Limit once per round. Well, let's do that then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they all get discarded. I've got 2 Moon Knight cards to choose from. So what did I get? I did get an identity. I got 2 identity cards. You know what? I might change to Jake Lockley and build up my board a bit. Although Cowboy Moon Knight's pretty cool. Here's another Moon Knight card. Turn back the night. Awesome picture. Very, very cool. Deal yourself 1 face down encounter card. Discard cards on top of your deck until you discard an identity. Then put that identity into play. Draw up to your hand size. Costs 4 though. So it's a reset card. It's quite expensive. I don't know. I think I'll... No, you know what? I think I'll keep Moon Knight. What's this? After it's play ready a vehicle you control. I like improvised weapon is him throwing somebody at somebody. I'm going to keep Cowboy Moon Knight. Alright, there you go. So there's my opening hand. And what I think I'll do is use Captain Spectre to pay for Jake. Well, after Jake Lockley enters play, ready him. Deal 1 damage to an enemy, 3 damage instead if it's a minion. It's not a minion, so it's claw. So let's do the 1. Okay. So my hand size is increased by 2 for the next turn. And then I think get Sunfire out. And Thwart for 1. Oh, I forgot to grab a minion. Discard cards until a minion is discarded. So I did have a minion. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. So I'll take the one, put the 1 back on there, and I'll say that when he comes into play, he does 3 damage to a minion. He just kills this guy. Forgot the minion. How many times have I played Claw? I forgot the minion. How dare I? So he'll still thwart for 1. So that's that done. Get a consequential. Ready. Do I want to keep the Helicarrier? Yeah. My hand size is now 7. So I'll get 6 cards. Yeah, try and build up my board state a bit. Okay, so we've got one from the villain and 1 from the accelerate. Claw schemes for 4. And bumps me to the next level in 1 shot. Well, there you go. It's unfortunate. Discard cards until we get a minion. There you go. Surge doesn't trigger. Back to 0. This could be over very quickly. That was unfortunate. Encounter card is Tiger Shark. Yet another minion. My turn. Okay, I'm going to flip. So I discard this identity. And flip to Mark Spectre. After you change this form, choose to either deal 1 damage to an enemy or remove 1 threat from a scheme. I'm going to remove 1 threat from a scheme. I think. 1 second. Actually, you know what? I'll just deal 1 damage to an enemy, and it'll be Tiger Shark. Because I changed form, which means I can surprise attack. Yeah, so I can Helicarrier to surprise attack. I use a fist resource, so I do 4 points of damage. What's going on here? What's going on here? Swap to let's see. Let's try that again. Cool. Alright, 5 damage so far. 4 from that, 1 from Mark Spectre. Mark will kill this guy. Sunfire will kill this guy. Play the limo, which costs 0. Moon Knight's limo. Action: discard Moon Knight's limo to reduce the cost of the next identity you play this round by 2. Okay. Then I think Clobber and Precision Strike will play Flurry of Blades. Deal 4 damage to an enemy that attack gains piercing. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't get to stun because I didn't play an identity card. And I don't know what to do with Moon Knight 1. Exhaust Moon Knight 1, deal 1 damage to an enemy. Exhaust Moon Knight 1, that's card control. I'm going to keep it. Cool. Ready. Get 4 cards. Okay. Threat. And he attacks. I will take it. 2. Counter card. Sonic Converter attached to claw. Ah, it's the one where he stuns you. Okay. My turn. Genius and Energy will pay for Wolvie. Moonlight 1 will pay for Lying Wait. Joshy says Sonic Converter is his worst card. Yep, absolutely true. True statement. Wolvie will then attack for 3. Take 2 damage. Mark will thwart for 1. Ready. 5 cards. Okay, another Mind Knight card. Making a breakthrough. Thwart. After you change form, remove 4 threat from a scheme. If this removes the last threat from that scheme, draw 2 cards. Then discard 1 card. Okay. And then a whole bunch of other cards, we know what they do. Alright, threat. He's attacking. I'm going to take it again. I don't have any sort of defensive type stuff, so 1, 2, 3. Counter card. Assault. The villain attacks you. Oh, well, in that case, I'm going to defend. 1, 2. Nothing happens. My turn. Okay. Strength. Oh, Wolvie heals for 1. And then strength will pay for Clobber, which will just come back to my hand. 3. Oh, am I stunned? After claw attacks and damages a character, stun that character. The first attack, I just took it to the face, so I am stunned. Bloody hell. I'm getting rid of it. Making a breakthrough, surprise attack, and into the fray. Go away, card. I hate you so much. Then you know what? I'm going to discard Moon Knight's Lemo. Reduce the cost of the next identity. Oh, it's the next identity play. I thought it was the next event you play. Sorry, my bad. That's my bad. Wolvie will hit him for 3. There you go. Takes 2. Locks him into his next stage. Hit points of 18. When revealed, search for Immortal Claw. There it is. 1, 2, 3. And he gets plus 10 hit points, so it becomes 28. And I'll keep the clobber. Not thwarting is upsetting me. it doesn't play right. It's weird. 4. Oh, here we go. Here's another. There's his identity. His Moon Knight identity. Very nice. Khonshu. After you play an identity, remove 1 threat from a scheme. Cool. Exhaust Khonshu. Choose an identity or discard pile and shuffle it into your deck. Word of advice: fighting may pay the bills, but killing pays the soul. Very cool. Well, I gotta get him out ASAP. So she says, you don't know how to do aggression like I do. Yeah, I'm not very good with aggression. That is true. 1 and then 1 from the accelerate. Yeah, aggression just does not suit my playstyle at all. I guess I'm defending. It's 1/1. It's 2, so nothing happens. Get an encounter card, and it is Armored Guard. Cleansing with toughness. That's unfortunate. Oh, wait. After a minion engages you, discard lying weight, deal 3 damage to that minion. Does that happen before toughness occurs? I don't think it does, right? This character enters play with tough status card, and then they engage you. So I'm not going to trigger it. I'm not going to trigger it for this guy, because it would just be wasted on his tough. Alright, my turn. Okay, so okay. Alright. So I want lying weight will pay for Khonshu. Oh, Wolvie heals 1. Sorry about that. After you play an identity, remove 1 threat from a scheme. Exhaust Khonshu, choose an identity, discard, shuffle it into your deck. I don't want to do that. Or do I? I mean, do I? Does it matter? I mean, I might as well, right? I mean, it doesn't mean anything. Where's the cowboy? And it doesn't mean this doesn't still happen, the response, so I might as well do that. And then, yeah, then I'm going to use endurance. No, I'll keep endurance. No, I will use endurance. Endurance to and the limo. Discard the limo, remove the rest of cost deck's identity, play by 2 to become Moon Knight. So Moon Knight comes into play like that. And then Moon Knight says to ready. After Moon Knight enters play, ready him. Deal 1 damage to each enemy and remove 1 threat from each scheme. Now, Khonshu says to remove 1 threat from a scheme. So I'm going to do Defense Network. Alright, remove 1 threat from a scheme. Okay. And then Moon Knight says deal 1 damage to each enemy and remove 1 threat from each scheme. So I'm going to go 1, 1, and then damage, and then the damage on here will be he's tough. We'll go. Now I have Stalwart, which means stun goes. Because I can't be stunned. Okay. I'm enjoying this. I am enjoying this. I'm going to try Contra over here. Now, Moon Knight. Oh. Can thwart for 3. And get rid of this. So it goes down to 17. Okay, ready. What's my hand size now? 6. Okay, so I'll get another 5. Okay, Flurry of Blades, we've seen that one already. Cowboy Moon Knight, we've seen that one already. Scarlet Scarab. Very cool. Cool picture, although I would move the picture across a little bit so that she's standing here, sort of center her a bit. I guess he wanted to get the knife in, maybe. After Scarlet Scarab enters play, search your deck and discard pile for an identity and add that card to your hand. I don't steal, they've already been stolen. I take them off the black market and return them to their rightful owners. I might keep a few to pay the bills. Sounds like Afra. Cool. I like the little quotes. What I'm about to do may not be pretty, it may seem insane, but when it comes to crazy, I'm the best there is. Okay, alright. All the other cards, we know what they do. Threat. He is attacking. So he gets 2 boost cards. Oh my god, the last time he attacked, I only did 1 boost card. Oh. I'm absolutely sure the last time he attacked, I only did 1 boost card. Because he had his 1 attack, and he had the 1 from the boost. So nothing happened. But he should have had as an extra card. I'm going to give him 3 cards to make up for it. I'm absolutely positive I've gypped. The game's not invalid, I'm going to give him an extra boost card to make up for it. So in that case, I will defend. So I'm defending for 4. I don't have any sort of defense type cards, I've noticed. Alright, so 1 plus deal 1 damage to each hero. So still only 1, 2, And then if it deals damage to you, exhaust your hero, which it will not. So I defend. I then retaliate for 2. Okay, I think that's fair. This guy then hits for 1. And then I retaliate for 2. Counter card. Get up. The villain and each minion engaged with you attacks you. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Wolvie's going to block Claw's attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wolvie dies. That's unfortunate. He's very expensive, Wolvie. I don't know if he's even worth it, to be honest. And this guy will hit me for 1 and then retaliate dead. My turn. I wonder if the idea is to keep doing the identities. Is that the intention, that you just keep swapping them around multiple times as often as possible? Instead of just sticking to the one that you've got, you actually just keep flopping them around. I think that's meant to be the intention here. Which I'm cool with it. I think that was what's meant to happen. So I think what we'll do is because at the moment he's not doing anything, right? I mean, he's exhausted. He doesn't do anything. So I think the trick is to change to Cowboy Moon Knight, right? So if I silence Scarab and drop kick to play for Cowboy, a couple of things now happen, right? Now, so paying attention to the insert, Moon Knight goes, I trigger mark 1 damage to an enemy or remove 1 threat from a scheme. I'm going to remove a threat. I then become Cowboy Moon Knight. And he says to ready. Quick draw. After Cowboy Moon Knight enters play, ready him. Reduce the resource cost of the next event you play this round by 1. So I'm now readied. And I get to trigger Khonshu. As you play an identity, remove 1 threat from a scheme. And then because I changed my identity, I can use Clobber and reduce the event by 1 to play Flurry of Blades, which says that I deal 4 damage to an enemy and this attack gains piercing. If you played an identity this round, which I did, stun that enemy. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then stun. I'm sure that's what's meant to happen. I think you're meant to change as often as possible. How does the insert describe it? Help Mark leverage his various alters to maximize the potential of Moon Knight. I'm sure that's what's meant to happen. I could also trigger this after you change form, but I don't have any resources left, so I'm just going to sit as is. And I'm going to use Khonshu's ability to put Moon Knight back in. Now, Cowboy Moon Knight still has stuff to do. Do I thwart for 2 or do I hit him for 2? I think I'm just going to hit him. On 2 health. It's not good, is it? He's not good. Reset. What's my hand size now? 5. So I get 4 more. So another identity here, Mr. Knight. So I got 2 identities. Got Miles making a breakthrough. The threat removal. He has no defensive cards. I find that strange. I also don't quite like this card at all, I'll be honest. This is probably my least favourite card of the set. You can't use it until after you change form. So you have to pay for it. And you have to change form. And all you get out of it is 4 threat removal? It's just not good enough. It's far too expensive. If this removes the last threat from the scheme, you get some extra stuff, which is great. But so it's too expensive for what it is. It shouldn't have to be. It shouldn't be after you change form. You shouldn't have to change form in order to use it. It should be like the other. It should be. I think it should be worded the way the other one is if you changed form this turn, get extra stuff. 2 for 4 is fine. And then if you change form, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, otherwise it's too expensive. Moving on. Number 2 becomes number 3. A threat goes on there. He activates and tries to attack me, but he can't because he's stunned. We get an encounter card. And it is Advance. The villain schemes. That's unfortunate. 2 plus 1 is 3. 1, 2, 3. Oof! I don't like it. I don't like it at all, so I will be using this, which sucks because I think it sucks. After you change form, remove 4 threat from a scheme. I don't like it. If this removes the last threat, so Miles will knock it down by 3. Can I kill him instead? 2, 4, 6. So 4, 6. We're getting down to 3. And if I then change form, I can use surprise attack to deal 3 damage, or the new person can then do damage. Or deal damage to 1 to each enemy. I think I'll do that instead. If I use Miles, I need 3 to use Miles. 1, 2, 3. Which means I can't change form. After you play an identity. I can't Miles. After Moon Knight. Yeah, I need the Moon Knight. Because it'll be 4 attack from him. Plus the damage when he comes in. So 4, 5 effective damage. 6, 7. He will still be alive. Oh, and then I can surprise attack. 1, 2, 3. And it's, yeah. Alright, there you go. That's how I'll do it. Okay, Cowboy Moon Knight hits him for 2. 1, 2. And then I will change to Moon Knight. When I change to Moon Knight, Cowboy Moon Knight gets discarded. Mark Spectre triggers. After you change this form, choose to either deal 1 damage to an enemy or remove 1 threat from a scheme. I'll deal 1 damage to an enemy. I now become Moon Knight. Oh man, this is starting to annoy me. I need to reduce this. Blink. I now become Moon Knight, which means that I ready. And the response is after he enters play, he readies, you deal 1 damage to each enemy, remove 1 threat from each scheme. No worries. Done. Khonshu then tells me to remove a threat from a scheme. Done. And then Moon Knight. Oh, I'm 1 off. I'm 1 off. Moon Knight will fort for 3. 1, 2, 3. So at least that won't trigger. I've got 1 more round to go. 1 more round. I thought I would have enough for that. Why did I think that? Math is hard. I'm going to use Khonshu's ability to give me Cowboy Moon Knight. Because he's cool. Ready. My hand size is now 6. So 6, 1 is 5. So I just get the last 5. So at least now I know for a fact I've got Cowboy Moon Knight. Okay. I deck out. Which means I get an encounter card. That could be the death of me. We'll see how this goes. I need some first aids. There's no first aids in here. Alright, threat. He attacks. Needs 2 boost cards. I absolutely must defend. Otherwise I'm screwed. One, 2, 3, 4, and nothing. So 4. Defend for 4, so I'm good, but then I retaliate for 2. Oof. Counter card number 1. Discard and upgrade. Okay, well, it's lying wait then. Alright, if this is him attacking me, I'm dead. Master of Each minion attacks if it's engaged you. If there's no attacks made this way, search the encounter deck and discard power from Master of Evil minion, put into play engage you, then shuffle the encounter deck. That is victory. I'm going to get Whirlwind. Wait, what does Melter do? I don't care. What does only a Figment do? Oh, it's an obligation. Whirlwind? Sweet, I survived. I win. He's on 3. Can I still win this? Can I still win this? I think I can. Because I'm going to change to Cowboy Moon Knight. Lie in wait and into the fray will change my identity. He goes away. Mark Spectre triggers his 1 damage to an enemy or 1 threat from a scheme. 1 damage to an enemy, done. I then become Cowboy Moon Knight and ready. His trigger is reduce the resource cost of the next event you play by 1. Surprise attack. Because I changed my form, deal 3 damage to an enemy. Dead. This was very cool. Oh, Khonshu triggers. Um, yeah, this was very cool. This is very cool. All right, let's go through it. Thoughts. And like I said, only one game is not really enough. Is not really enough for the actual proper process. But for the video, it'll do, right? I didn't get to see his nemesis. So his nemesis is Arthur Harrow, which I assume is relevant in some way. Emmett's Reckoning Kang. Why you go up against Kang, I don't know, but there you go. Raoul Bushman. I recognize him. No idea who Sunk is. Ugh. Fight like you mean it. Maybe if you try as hard as you can, I feel it's genuine. I won't hunt down your daughter after I strip off your flesh. Oh, jeez. It's making it a bit personal. Bloody hell. But they're all pretty standard stuff. I didn't get any of his obligations, which is handy. Let's go through Moon Knight himself. We all know what they do. I'm not a fan of the deck, but that is what it is. Aggression is not for me. But I feel it suits Moon Knight though. Moon Knight is all about just punching people in the face, right? The reskin tally carrier sort of threw me for a second there. I thought it was one of his identity cards. Okay, so let's get his identities up the top there. Captain Scarlet. Moon Knight. There's his other cards. Alright, let's go through it. Aesthetics. Does it look cool? Yes. It looks very cool. I mean, there's not much you can do with a dude who's dressed all in white with black highlights, right? So the cards are white. I mean, what more can you do, really? Luckily for McBober, the whole idea of the Marvel Champions cards having those weird dots on there has actually helped him out in this way, because it's helped break up the colours a bit, which is good. I mean, white's always fun. But the dots have definitely helped break it up a bit. Otherwise, it would just be really stark white, and that would be bad. You know what I mean? It's like, that would be very boring. So, yeah, kudos there. And of course, black, white are his pictures. His colours. The pictures, yeah. There's a mix of different comics here. Especially, I mean, Mr. Knight, awesome, and it's from Rick Remender who did that series. Was it Rick Remender? That's what I'm going to say, whether I'm right or wrong. Yeah, great series to get inspiration from. This picture looks like it's actually from the art they show during the TV shows. The Moon Knight at the end of every MCU show, or at the end of every Disney show, they show artwork they used for the production. It looks like one of those pictures. She looks like the TV version of her, and so does this. This looks like it's from that production as well, and that's an awesome picture. That is really, really cool. Costume looks cool. Yeah, artwork. Moon Knight is classic comic. Moon Knight looks awesome. It actually looks painted. Looks like a Joe Jusko picture or something. Looks really cool. The other stuff, yeah, it's all pretty standard stuff. I love the improvised weapon picture there. Yeah, so aesthetics, yeah, sweet, done. Especially the I mean, he's had to create these himself in Photoshop or something, because there's no template for this as far as I'm aware of, unless there's a special template in order to make hero cards that actually have a cost. So he's had to do some sort of manipulation. So good work there. Theme I think is spot on, absolutely spot on. like I said, there's another Moon Knight out there that does a sort of similar sort of thing in terms of the identities, and I think it's overcomplicated, and I think this is far easier to understand, especially for my dumb brain, but also, just it works. It works in terms of the sense of the character, right? Like he does just change at a drop of a hat. And I think the ones that he's chosen as the main ones, meek, mild Stephen Grant and badass Mark Spector, I think is a sign of genius. It's absolutely brilliant, and they get more powerful as they go on. Yeah, I don't know what more I can say about that. I think thematically, I think it just works. The Khonshu mechanic. I'll get to that when I get to mechanics, I suppose. Yeah, it works. They all do what they should do, except for Scarlet Scarab's. Scarlet Scarab's ability doesn't really match her comment. Like her quote is her about grabbing artifacts and stuff, right? I would have liked to have seen a weapon, like he's throwing knives or something, right? And then have her go and get those, instead of grabbing an identity. I don't see why she would grab an identity, like a part of his psychology. So maybe there's something story-wise that I'm missing there. Maybe she can trigger his changes in the story or something, but I don't know. It's very strange to see a hero not have a weapons upgrade or like an armor upgrade. Unless I'm missing something. Am I missing something? No. So I guess that's the sacrifice that had to be made to have the identities. Yeah. I would scrap Captain Spectre and Moon Knight 1 and sort of reorganize with a weapon. ES has jumped in. ES, how are you, buddy? What are you doing online? You should be asleep. You had a big day yesterday. Am I allowed to mention your big day yesterday? ES? But anyway, they've jumped in with. I think it's just to make the set work. Oh, I get that. I completely understand. I get it. Khonshu works in terms of that set perfectly. Chuck the identity for you just go pile into your deck so that you can then hopefully get it again, and then keep swapping around. So I mean, I totally get that. I just don't think it's very exciting. That's all. I mean, I understand it. Just because I understand it doesn't mean I have to like it. Not sure you mean by same as Scarlet Scarab. I'm talking about Scarlet Scarab. I'm not so sure what you mean by that. Everything else I said was great. Just Scarlet Scarab's ability, I just don't really quite get it. Anyway, materials, yeah, they're fine. Skip those. Mechanics, yeah. I guess I touched on this a bit in the theme stuff. I think the mechanic is brilliant. This is, I tried a similar thing with my custom hero, Miguel Montez from Dial H for Hero. I had a similar sort of idea where you would change identities because the dial turns you into a different superhero every single time. And it's not as good as this. Don't get me wrong, I like it because it's my own character, so obviously I like it. I'm not an idiot, but I think this is a superior version of it. This is how I should have done it. It's amazing. I absolutely love it. Absolutely adore it. It influences the way you play, right? Like I think it's so obvious that that's what you're meant to do, in my opinion. Is swap as many times as possible. I mean, if you can swap once every round, I think you're playing it optimally, as often as you can, based on your circumstances, right? So, you don't need to have a ready card because every single identity readies anyway, and then lets you do stuff. It's yeah, I love it. I didn't get to use Turn Back the Night, but that I love that as well. The fact that Khonshu helps you with that is great. The only one I don't like, I'll touch on it again just briefly, is I just do not like his thwart card. I don't like it at all. It's way too expensive for what you have to do to make it happen. Granted, you would want to change form every turn as possible, right? But what if you can't? There's a possibility you may not be able to change form. There was at least 2 turns there where I wasn't able to do so, right? So that means this card cannot actually be used the way it's worded. So my advice is that gets changed to the same as this one. Similar sort of thing to this one. So it should be remove 4 threat, and if you place an identity card this round, then extra stuff happens. Then I think it'd be a lot more fairer. Otherwise, either make it 0 or do something else. I don't know, whatever. That would be my only sort of thing in terms of the mechanics that I don't really like. Everything else, Captain Spectre's a bit underwhelming, but he's only 1 for 2/2/2. That's pretty damn good. You can't really complain about that. The most fun were Moon Knight and Cowboy Moon Knight for sure. I'm disappointed I didn't get Mr. Knight out because he's awesome, but they were the most fun for sure. Oh, it's like there's Ken there. There's Ken's arm. There you go. So Moon Knight shows as Cowboy Moon Knight goes up against Ken at some point. There you go. Didn't realize. Yeah. Mechanically, yeah. The identity swapping thing, I think is brilliance. Yeah, just brilliance, and I'm so jealous that I didn't think of it myself. Balance, yeah, I think it's fairly balanced, except for, like I said, the making a breakthrough card. I think is just no good. Everything else, though, I think is fair. Yeah, I think they're all fair. I think this is very well done. The fact that the way that they increase in power as they go and increase in cost, I think that's very well balanced. Yeah, I think balance is good. And fun factor, yeah, loved it. It went down to the wire. Like I said, aggression is not my thing. That's not really how I play. But even with me not being able to play aggression properly, I still was able to win. Mainly by as soon as it twigged in my head, the whole change in identity thing should be done as much as possible, not just whenever you think is going to be good. Just do it whenever you get an opportunity to do so. That's when that clicked, is when I really started getting right into it, and yeah, I enjoyed this a lot. I really enjoyed this. It's going to be ranked very highly in the fun factor. So yeah, in summary, a triumph, and thank God for this this insert. And I didn't get to go have any of the obligations. Even with 3 obligations, I didn't actually trigger any of them, which is pretty rare. I mean, 33 cards, and there's 3 of them. That's 1 in every 11. That's pretty amazing. But I'm glad I didn't, because the obligations suck. They were cool, but yeah, they were sucky. Yeah, that's it. So that is Moon Knight by McBober. I highly recommend you give it a go. I really highly recommend. He's on his own TTS mod. So if you're using the TTS, grab that. If not, I'll have a link to his TTS mod and his Google Drive in the video description anyway. So yeah, give it a go. I really like it. I want to, as part of the playtest, and I'll have to keep playing him a bit more. I'll try Justice and Protection and stuff. We'll sort of see how we go. But I recommend it. It gets a seal from me. That's it for me. Thank you very much, Joshy and ES, for jumping in. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody else who's watched. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Very much appreciate it. The more you like and subscribe, the more videos I could do. If you're on Twitch, if you can throw me a follow on Twitch, that'd be really, really cool. Like I said, I'm 10 away from whatever the next thing is. I can't remember what it's called now, affiliate or something. So if you could throw a follow on there, that'd be awesome. I would really, really appreciate that. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your next door neighbor, tell whoever you need to tell. That'd be good. But as always, thanks for watching. Look after yourselves, look after each other. Take care.